Recovery Forum is offering an opportunity to engage with each other and address the important topics. So we'll start today with a very, very important topic. Actually, there are a lot of projects between Ukraine and Germany, but all those projects maybe would be impossible without partnerships, without municipal partnerships. So let's talk about it. I will invite here moderator of the next panel, Alexandra Dulkiewicz, the mayor of Gdansk and chair of the Committee of the Regions Working Group on Ukraine. She will talk here for 40 minutes with the representatives of the municipal partnerships and explain all the important issues about international partnerships, launch of a partnership map and call to action. Thank you very much. You're welcome here on the stage. Madam Dulkiewicz.
1, 2, 3, all right. Good morning, everyone. I'm so happy that even on the second day, very early morning, you are so many here to talk about local and regional dimension of the cooperation regarding recovery of Ukraine. Minister Schulze, dear Minister Shurkakov, my colleagues, fellow mayors, both Ukrainian, German and Polish, I'm really, really happy that we are here together to talk on international partnerships for Ukrainian municipalities. My name is Alexandra Dulkiewicz, I'm a mayor of Gdansk, but I'm also here representing European Committee of the Regions, where I chair our working group on Ukraine, and peer-to-peer cooperation, exchanging good practices, also sharing good practices from countries like my own country, where peer-to-peer cooperation really helped us to prepare to join the European Union. Is something extremely important. This is why we also created the alliance together, both the European Committee of the Regions, but also different organizations like Council of the European Municipalities and Regions, ALDA, and other organizations to help to build wild alliance on finding partners for every single Ukrainian gromada. Today we're going to also launch the map, the program, which will we see very, very shortly. It will be presented by Madam Minister Schulze. This is extremely important, and I deeply believe that by next year, European Recovery Conference. This is my dream, but I do hope that this is also our common dream, that every single Ukrainian Hromada will have at least one European partner. So this is our job, not only for today, but also for this following year. So thank you very much for this very brief introduction. I don't want to talk too much, but I also would like to say that I have some partners in Ukraine, my own city of Gdansk. Some partnerships are quite difficult, but still very important, like Mariupol city, where we are together with ALDA, European Association of Local Democracy. We are trying to build local democracy, although people of Mariupol are displaced all over Ukraine, but also Poland and other cities. We have close partnerships with Lviv. This is not only sentimental partnership, but I think that we are working together, sharing experiences. Like, for example, this year and next year, we cooperate on something that one can think that it's not maybe that important nowadays, but for Andrei Sadov, this is still important, for me as well. Bicycling policy, extremely important. How to change the cities. So, not to make it any longer, I would really like to introduce and welcome on stage, first of all, two smaller representatives of two smaller municipalities. Please welcome Mayor of Tetlov, Thomas Schmidt. Please join me on the stage. And Andriy Dranchuk, Mayor of Kotyń. So let us hear a little bit more how smaller, please join me, how smaller municipalities can cooperate. Thomas Schmidt is the mayor of Tetlov, a town of 28 people in German federal state of Brandenburg, close to Berlin. And Andriy Dranchuk is mayor of Kotyń, a small hromada in Chernivtsi Oblast of Ukraine. So, gentlemen, please tell us, how is the partnership between Teltov and Kotyń developed? Please, Thomas.
Thank you very much for briefly introducing me, and I'd like to welcome you most cordially to Berlin.
Wir haben uns tatsächlich im
Actually, we
2022 auf der Partnerschaft
met in the fall of 2022 at the Partnership Conference in the city of Augsburg. We met there, and within the framework of 3 months, we
echte
managed the impossible.
Справжні партнери.
Wir haben
Ми
nicht nur gemeinsam
не лише разом партнерські стосунки організували в січні 2023 року. Ми підписали це, але так само ми разом наші вже існуючі польські партнерські стосунки з містами створили, підписали. І ми в Польщі інтенсивно почали підтримувати одне одного. І ми трьохсторонні партнери.
hervorragend funktioniert. Und ich darf an
It works perfectly. And at this point, allow me to announce news because
Kleeblatt werden.
we're going to be a Clover soon. Our North Partnership partner in Aalen, in Westphalia, will join our partnership. And together, we're strongest together. And this is why I hope that we will be able to prove together that cooperation is the best solution in order to help on the ground in Ukraine. And my colleague Andrei Dranchuk is going to talk about how we're able to help.
The floor is yours, please.
Доброго дня, вітаю.
Good morning. I greet everyone. It's incredibly
Надзвичайно приємно знаходитись тут сьогодні на
I'm incredibly pleased to be here on this stage to present my town, my partnership between Kotyń and Teltow. And indeed, it's a partnership of small towns, small cities with our cities have big history. But over the last 3 years that we signed a partnership agreement, we have achieved quite a lot in the cooperation of our communities. Huge support package and assistance package have been organized. We started working together, and our kids were learning together with Teltow kids. A meeting with Chancellor Scholz was organized, who had transferred a big package of support for our hospital, cluster hospital that serves more than 2,000 people. Kotyń is a community in the Chernivtsi Oblast. We accept about 200% of the size of our population as IDPs. The Partnership Forum in Augsburg gave us an impetus that we can present to other communities, and we could say, yes, indeed, it's real, it's realistic, we have a great partner, we have great achievements, and what we're really happy about is our partnership is tripartite. Jahan, Teltow and Kotyń is a tripartite partnership that supports us now. And I thank the government of Germany specifically for the fact that they have shown initiative to support partnership communities. The government of Germany supports these projects. We have implemented more than 3 projects together, and we're working on others. Thank you.
Sharing the experiences. Please stay with us, dear colleagues here. And now I'll be joined by some bigger representatives of bigger municipalities. So first of all, please welcome Martin Horn, Mayor of Freiburg. The 4th biggest city in German federal state of Baden-Württemberg, around 236,000 inhabitants. Please, you will be joined by our well-known colleague, Mayor of Lviv, Andriy Sadowy. Please join me on the stage. Welcome very warmly our colleagues. I know that it will be quite difficult to be strict with the time for both of you, but you have 5 minutes, just like our colleagues. So please, Martin, could you tell us a little bit more? Why are you cooperating with Lviv? Is it also fruitful for Freiburg?
Also dann werde ich auch ausnahmsweise Deutsch sprechen, zwar auf Englisch.
Well, I'm also happy to speak German. I prepared it in English, so we have a professional simultaneous translation. I'd like to leave some of my time to my colleague. I will be brief. Since the very beginning, we have a Ukrainian partnership. There was on the signing of the partnership, Lviv became independent from Soviet Union. It's very peculiar. Since 35 years, our partnership is extremely close, not just between two politicians, but also between people, between schools, and also now during the Russian invasion and the Russian war of aggression. Never before did we see so much support. From the very beginning, from day one, we had a video call with our partner states. We support this up to this very day. We double every single euro. It was not easier than now to receive money and funding. The federal parliament, the Federal Ministry for Economic Cooperation, the GIZ, we were able to give some impetus, provide some impetus, but we're also doing expert exchanges because the local level is what counts. This is the level where we can actually make progress on the ground, tangible progress, and this is why we support this from the very beginning on, together with the idea Andrei had. It is so important to not only look at the physical health, but also mental health, and it's extraordinary. And allow me to become more specific. Ukraine not only is a country that needs support, but is a very innovative and future-oriented country. It's a cool country. So this is why we can learn so much from our partner city, Lviv, and I'd like to be brief and keep it at that. I'd like to pass the floor to my colleague. It's not about working against each other, but actually working together to support Ukraine so that Ukraine is channeling all its efforts so that it can do its tremendous work in defending itself.
Now we pass the floor to Andrei. What have you learned from each other?
Я буду говорити українською мовою. 35
you.
років
35 years of partnership, but
війна все змінила.
the war has changed everything.
Одним з перших
And one of the
під час
first
війни приїхав Мартін.
visitors to Lviv during the war was Martin. He saw a real situation. He's a leader of our partnership with German cities. Alexandra was one of the first Polish mayors to come to Lviv, and he's a leader of our cooperation with Polish cities. That's the truth. We today are one of the biggest humanitarian hubs of the world. Our municipal hospital alone received more than 17,000 wounded and injured children, women, older people. And these, of course, are hero soldiers. I'd like to show you a brief presentation and tell you a story. Stepanenko Yana and the Stepanenko family, 11 years old. During the evacuation, the missile destroyed the Kramatorsk railway station. Yana lost her leg and lost a mum. A mum was wounded. I had a great meeting with them after the operation. A fantastically beautiful girl without legs. Mum lost a leg. She lost her dad. After meeting Yana, I simply cried. I simply cried because I am a father myself. I've got 5 children, and I promised myself that I must be as a father, like a father to Yana and many other children who suffered this kind of injury. And that became an impetus for me to build this ecosystem of humanity unbroken. Freiburg is a city that is working hand by hand with us. Yana actually was participating in Boston Marathon last month.
And also, Svenja Schulze spoke to Jana because Svenja Schulze was one of the first German ministers to go to Ukraine, and she saw everything herself. Svenja, so many great thanks to you. Really, thank you, Svenja.
Оце є центр протезування.
And this is the prosthetics center that we opened together last month. It took us 4 months to build such a center. I know it sounds impossible, but we did it because we need it. And this is our rehabilitation center for 6,000 square meters. And one story is devoted, named after Freiburg, but also Warsaw, Gdańsk, Vilnius have helped us. There are so many partner cities that are together with us. Duisburg is helping us now, building 2 more stories. This is unique partnership of so many cities all over the world, and we are all united because this is very important for Ukraine. And this is our ecosystem. It's not only about operations. We need to produce prosthetic devices. We need to have temporary facilities. We need a pediatrician healthcare center. We need to have rehab center for the wounded. We need accommodation and housing. We need to provide for the art center. As art is a great part of mental rehabilitation. We have a center for veterans and so on and so forth. That is an ecosystem which we need in Ukraine, and it is needed for the entire world. And that is why we need this support. We need to be supported by the cities from all over the world so that we can also share our experiences on resilience and survival with other cities from all over the world. And now I would like to show you a very brief video material.
To find a foothold. What is victory? To feel the wind. What is freedom? To fly underwater. This is their new start. New history.
Тепер у мене червоний пояс.
Я продовжую танцювати. Я почала бігати.
Я бачу.
New life.
It is unbroken. Today we cure wounded. Next we must cure our country. Only together. Never give up. Thank you.
Never give up. Thank you very much, Andriy. And this shows how much cooperation on different levels is needed. One last word for Mayor Horn, dear Martin.
So, 2 kurze Punkte. Erstens,
Allow me to address 2 brief aspects. I'd like to thank the federal government, the Federal Ministry for Cooperation, Svenja Schulze. It can't be taken for granted that the local level is being taken into account so much.
wir haben gerade gestern einen
And just yesterday, we hosted a state visit of President Zelensky in the federal parliament, and it's a scandal that parts of the parliamentarians were not present. It's a scandal. We must not get used to this. I think it requires a joint effort. We need to raise awareness. We must not relent in our efforts. Never give up.
Thank you very much, and this shows how much all of us, how much we have to still to do to save the democracy and democratic forces as a political power. So now please welcome on stage Svenja Schulze, Mr. Svenja Schulze, who was already mentioned several times, Federal Minister for Economic Cooperation and Development here in Germany. I have only one question. During this conference on Ukrainian recovery, you, as a German organizers, you put a lot of input and a lot of effort to show how much municipal regional cooperation is needed. Why is it so?
It is really a pleasure to see such a lot of mayors here in the room and here on the stage, because I'm really convinced that municipalities are a cornerstone of resilience for Ukraine. And so we need this partnership. We need to have all the mayors on board. We need all hands on deck to deal with that challenges Ukraine has. And seeing that mayors, you know that they are able to solve problems. You just see it before. So that is the answer why we need to take mayors here, municipalities on the conference.
Thank you very much for this very brief answer. I can only say from Polish example that local and regional authorities also needed to save democracy. So this is something extremely important. So now please let us join Mr. Vasyl Shurkov. Please join us on the stage, Acting Minister of Development of Communities, Territories and Infrastructure in Ukraine. Please, warm welcome for Mr. Shurkakov. Ukraine is on the beginning of the negotiation with the European Union. How can it be more focused, more dependent on this local, regional, municipal cooperation?
Interpreters request for the speaker to speak much closer to the microphone. I cannot hear. No sound. Please use the microphone. Microphone. This microphone is off. Thank you for starting this conversation this way, because to begin with, it is our municipalities that need help. We need support, especially the small communities. And we say that Europe is all about communities. And indeed, we need to remember that Europe is not just a union of states and countries. It's all about communities. Communities need to have a possibility to talk, communicate and develop, not only within their own territories, but they need to have a possibility of exchanging their cultural and social experiences with our communities, with our regions, with our cultures. This is what gives impetus for us to grow, for the new growth. I'm very grateful to Mayor Sadovey, who has shown us and has shown the entire world what Ukraine really is. And it's not only in Lviv. Many other Ukrainian cities and towns have done so much programs. We are ready to be integrated with the European family. This is what motivates our citizens. This is what motivates our people to integrate. We firmly believe that we shall become one single family, united family with Europe. We are part of this family. So many of us have been compelled to leave their hometowns and to go to other cities, towns and countries, but we're dreaming of coming back. We're dreaming of coming back, but also carrying European values. Now our children and our citizens, those who are abroad, they are absorbing European spirit of cooperation. They have better understanding of such notions as energy efficiency. They have better understanding of developed public infrastructure. We're dreaming of these people coming back. They will make our communities better fit for European integration. That will give a possibility to our communities and to our mayors to do that. We need it. We demand this. Already now we're sowing this seed for the future growth. Our communities must have a possibility to define themselves, to find their partners in Europe, and to provide for high-quality European integration. We are very grateful to the European communities, and in 2022 we have become a valuable partner for the EU. But now on the local level we have a very important task to do. We need to teach our communities, to teach our citizens to write and submit projects, to learn to use European funds. We need the experience, valuable experience that other European countries have, who have already trodden this path. We want to develop, and we must provide for European integration and we need to rebuild and modernize Ukraine. We need to forget and discard the old Soviet rules. We need European values. Thank you very much for your kind attention.
Minister Shurkakov, for this open declaration on local cooperation on local and regional level. Now we're going to go back to Minister Schulze. Yesterday we announced Coalition for Sustainable Municipalities. Now we all think that this is great opportunity to present another step forward. Yeah. Madam Schulze.
Yeah, thank you very much. You just mentioned it. Yesterday, this Coalition for Sustainable Municipalities, we raised that with a lot of you yesterday, and that was an important first step. Today, we want to raise again that municipal partnerships are making important contributions to local level recovery. They offer tailor-made solutions. You just heard that from the mayors here. And they do that with really little bureaucratic efforts. And for this reason, we are working to enhance existing partnerships and to initiate new ones. And many of the municipalities gathered here are already connected through partnerships. Irpin with Borna, Odessa with Yokohama, Chernihiv with Nantes, and there are even trilateral ones. You mentioned that before, Bucha, Bergisch Gladbach and Koyevye, Burgas, Bonn and Kherson, and between Telto, Kotin and Tsagan. And there is a big German-Ukrainian municipal partnership network with more than 200 partnerships already. And the government is supporting these partnerships by funding joint projects and by providing a coordination office, which is presented here at the Recovery Forum at the European Alliances booth. So, however, not all countries have such well-developed networks. Often the most difficult thing is to get a partnership started. And in order to determine and seize the potential of municipal partnerships, Germany has developed a map, and you can see that here on the screen. And this map shows partnership with Ukrainian municipalities that already exist worldwide. And you can see access with your mobile phone via the QR code displayed here and at the European Alliances booth. And at the first sight, this mix looks very encouraging. There are more than 2,200 partnerships with municipalities in around 60 countries.
Приблизно 60 країн. 2200
prominent partnerships with municipalities in Poland, in Germany, in Hungary, in Romania, in Lithuania. And at the second glance, however, there is room for improvement. The existing partnerships are not spread evenly across Ukraine's 1,470 municipalities. The bigger ones, the better known ones, have managed to team up with many international counterparties. We can see that in Kiev, the mayor is here. We can see that in Lviv, they are front runners and that. Extremely active, you are absolutely right. Yet, in fact, only around 1/3 of Ukrainian municipalities have a partnership with the municipality elsewhere. That means that roughly 1,000 municipalities, and that are often the smaller ones, 1,000 municipalities are still without a partner. That needs to change. And we want to change that here. We want to start that here. And for the recovery of Ukraine and for its integration in the EU, it is necessary to have everyone on board. And we therefore want to focus on smaller, on vulnerable municipalities and support their integration in a municipal partnership. And together with the Council of the European Municipalities and Regions, we are developing a networking app. And this app will allow municipalities to create their own profiles and look for partners. And we will hear more in a moment from Secretary General Francesco Rossi. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to invite you to be to this special challenge. Let us work together so that every Ukrainian municipality will have at least one international partner. Please support this challenge. I'm asking governments to mobilize funding for partnerships, and I'm calling upon municipalities and regional associations to mobilize their networks. Let us take stock together at the next Ukraine Recovery Conference next year in Rome and see what we can achieve together. It is necessary, and 1,000 partnerships, that is what we want to raise, what we want to summarize at the next URC. So let us do that together.
Thank you very much, Madam Minister Schulze. For this call to action. I think that we are here all very, very active, but we definitely need to think of those who don't have partners yet. And this is our job. We have 1 year to do it. So next year in Rome, I really do hope that we will all have partners. But this will not be possible without wider cooperation. Therefore, please stay with us on the stage. And I'm going to welcome here Secretary General of Council of the European Municipalities and Regions, Mr. Rossi. Please join us on the stage. How we can do it? We already have a call to action. You are one of the organizations who joins different municipalities and regions in Europe. How we can do it?
Thank you very much, Mayor, dear Alexandra. Well, first of all, if you allowed me, I would like to ask for a small round of applause for the people in Ukraine, mostly at the Association of Ukrainian Cities, that have been working with us in this very last months for the production and the gathering of the data that are beyond that map that you have just seen on the screen just a few minutes ago, presented by Minister Schulz. This was a huge effort in the last weeks. It's really important that we were able to present this initial mapping to you today, because there is so much going on the side of European municipalities and regions. So many cities and municipalities are today working very actively with their counterparts in Ukraine. And we, as a Council of European Municipalities and Regions, we are investing in city-to-city partnerships since already 70 years. Our organization was created in 1951, and city-to-city cooperation was really key to the development of the organization since the very beginning. And why? Why such emphasis on city-to-city cooperation? Because we believe that today there is nobody better positioned than a mayor, a city manager, to work with their counterparts in Ukraine, to rebuild the cities, to develop new urban planning, to develop new water and waste management strategies. So cooperation, city-to-city cooperation is not just a nice to have, but is really key for a sound reconstruction of Ukraine. And a further point on this, Alexandra, I'm sure you're going to like it, because you already put quite an important emphasis on democracy. Yeah. Well, city-to-city cooperation is key for the building of European democracy. We, in the aftermath of World War II, we have been investing of city-to-city cooperation. This was really key for the creation of the European identity that we have today. If today we are fervent Europeans, it's because of programs such as the Erasmus, such Interreg, but also because of twinning, thanks to programs such as twinning, for instance. I often say that, the European economic market was, of course, very important for making Europe, but twinning was very important for making Europeans. And still today, city-to-city cooperation is very important for making Europeans, because this is very, very needed. So we are now, of course, strengthening the efforts that we are putting on the development of this platform that will be launched at the end of the year in Karlsruhe, together with the other partners of the Bridge of Trust program. We work on this program with GIZ, of course, and with the other partners. There is so much that will be happening from now until the presentation in December. So do not hesitate to reach out to us if you want to be part of this community, if you want to join this movement. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, dear Fabrizio. This is extremely important, not only infrastructure, not only changing experiences, but saving democracy and freedom and peace in Europe. This is extremely important. Please stay with us. And if we are saying about calling to action, I think that there is no better person that could also call us to action. This is Mayor of Kiev and Chairman of the Association of Ukrainian City, Vitaly Klitschko. Please join me here on the stage. Kiev has a lot of partnerships already, but what we can do to support smaller gromadas, smaller cities, to find the partners for them, maybe you have some advice, dear Vitaly?
Good morning everyone. Great to be here in Berlin. Great to see a lot of our colleagues and talking about rebuild of Ukraine. How make Ukraine resistant and strong. It's not a secret. Right now it's very much difficult time in our history. Just in last night, I want to say thank you very much for support. Thank you for everything what you're doing for Ukraine. Just last night, we have attack from Russia, kamikaze drone and missiles. Thank you for good anti-missile system. We shoot down everything, but we have to never forget that just in our hometown, more than 800 buildings was destroyed during this war. More than 200 people killed. I'm talking about civilians in our hometown. 7 children. And right now it's a difficult time. We have to be strong. We have to be strong and to defend our future, defend our homeland, defend our vision to be the part of European family. It's very important to take a support from our partners and very important to be successful. Right now, main priority for us to defend the country, and the next step to rebuild the country. And also it's very important to continue reform in Ukraine. Rebuild the country, it's not just rebuild the buildings, roads, bridges. Rebuild the country is first of all make reform in European level. And without your assistance it's very difficult to do it. We have to do it in many directions. Anti-corruption reform, court reform, of self-government reform, to continue a very successful reform decentralization in Ukraine. It's very important. And we have to be successful. Success of Ukraine will be best answer for our friends and partners who support Ukraine. And also our success will be the best answer for Putin, for Russia. And that's why we have to be successful. And without your assistance, without your help, it will be very difficult to do it. Many of you, the answer for your question, how? Very simple example. Many of you know my sport backgrounds. Every finger is strong enough. But if fingers come together, will be time stronger. And that's why, thank you. Stay with Ukraine, support Ukraine, and Europe with Ukraine will be much stronger with democratic, modern European country. Ukraine is, and we never have to fight. We never have to forget what fighting we're for. I want to say, Svenja, thank you very much for the buses, ambulances, generators. What we receive from German government. We receive a lot of help from our partner city, sister city around Europe, and we're very thankful and never forget your help in this critical moment. 1,000 times. Thank you, thank you, thank you for everyone who support Ukraine, because without your support, to be honest, we can survive. Thank you.
Thank you very much, dear Vitaly. Could we imagine better support of this call to action process? Probably not. I do hope that everyone know that now we have our job to do. We have only 1 year to find partnership for all those over 1,000 gromadas in Ukraine which don't have any international partners.
1,055 gromadas.
1,055 gromadas. So thank you very much for this precise number, dear Vitaly. Thank you for this dynamic, quick discussion. And as far as I can imagine, we have family photo right now. Thank you.